This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
It's changing the lives of severely disabled and/or autistic children. It's a concept called Snoozelen therapy. Tonight, you'll learn all about it on In Studio. It is one of Northwest Florida's hidden treasures, and it's enhancing the lives of autistic and severely disabled children. On the outside, it may look like a conventional brick building, but on the inside, it's magic. The Lacey A. Collier Sensory Complex at Escambia Westgate School is a state-of-the-art facility that is improving the quality of life for many severely disabled and autistic children. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Weeks. Thank you so very much for joining us. Northwest Florida is home to the Lacey A. Collier Sensory Complex, which employs the Snoozelen concept. Now, you might wonder, what is a sensory complex and what is Snoozelen? And how does it all work? Well, tonight, you're going to find out. We're joined this evening by the man whose name graces the building, Senior United States District Judge Lacey A. Collier. He's a retired naval officer with a distinguished legal career. He was appointed to the federal bench in 1991 by President George H.W. Bush. He calls himself a cheerleader for the complex. You're going to soon find out he's much more. Susan Berry is a retired educator and a school principal with 40 years of experience. For 23 of those years, she taught special education. She was the visionary and driving force in getting the complex built here in Northwest Florida. Joe Denman retired from the United States Air Force after 22 years. Soon thereafter, he discovered Escambia Westgate School, where he has been for nearly a quarter of a century. Joe is a behavioral specialist at Westgate and the supervisor at the Sensory Complex. Michelle Wardlaw taught at Escambia Westgate for 12 years and was named the school's Teacher of the Year in 2002. She earned her National Board Certification for Students with Severe Disabilities in 2005 and has a master's degree in special education from the University of Florida. Michelle has experience with the Snoozelen concept from a hands-on standpoint. Thank you so very much for joining us. What a pleasure to have all of you with us this evening.
Thank you.
Judge, let me begin with you. How did you get involved in this?
That's a story I love to tell. Joe and I used to scuba dive together, and we'd go to Central America for our diving trips. And I always say that I loved being his partner because if he could get through that hole in the reef, I knew I could. But he kept telling me he worked at Westgate. I never heard of Westgate. And it probably took him a year or two to get me out there, and then toured the place. And there's a little story involved with that is he had one of these big radios at the time, and he kept talking in the radio about, when are you going to get back? Is it raining? Where are you? Well, what's going on? And finally I put up with that as long as I could, and then I said, Joe, are you the weatherman too? Is that part of your duties? And he explained that they had 2 station wagons that they took the kids to what we would call normal everyday places. So they learn how to make change, order a hamburger, ride a bus, what the street lights, how they work. And that was a major part of the course. And the 2 station wagons had no windshield wipers. If you can believe that, I hardly could, thinking this is America, this is not third world. But as would have it, we were in the parking lot leaving, and they drove up. And they were just 2 wrecks that he had put together and held together with coat hangers. And I thought to myself, this just can't be, especially after you see the kids. It's that important. And so I always make the disclaimer, judges can't go around with their hands out. But I always said that I knew people who could.
Right.
So we ended up with getting contribution from the city police department, part of the seizures that they make. I thought it would be interesting that a drug dealer do a good deed.
Right.
So they gave us, through the city council approval and all, $15,000. And the sheriff, he gave us $15,000. And so with that, we set out to buy 2 SUVs. Well, strange bureaucratic rules said the only thing you could have is an Aerostar van, Ford Aerostar, most expensive you could buy at the time, of course.
Right.
So through the good graces of Ted Ciano,
Late Ted Ciano.
who's a longtime supporter of Westgate, he gave us 2 for the price of 1 is essentially what it amounted to. And we brought them out, had a big day. They were bright colors, kids climbing all over them, hooting the horn, and it was a great day. And we felt very, very good about that. And that's how it all began.
Joe, how did you get to Westgate? Tell me your story.
Well, upon retiring from the military, I came back to Pensacola, which is my hometown, and just decided that, woohoo, I have retired. I'm going to hang out at the beach. I'm going to scuba dive, fish. I'm happy. It lasted about 2 weeks. And my sister was working at Lakeview, and she said, Joe, why don't you come down and volunteer some of your time with us? And I said, well, okay. So I started volunteering at Lakeview, and about a week after that, I found out that I had a little connection with the children that were harder to handle or had different behaviors. And one day I was asked to take a child out to Westgate that was about 250 and about 6'7", and I rode the bus out to Westgate, and to make a long story kind of short, I just never got back on that bus. I've been out there for over 20 years now, and I don't plan to go anywhere else. So.
Absolutely amazing. Susan, tell me your story. You were a principal there for many years. You're retired now.
I am. Well, I actually started as a new teacher at Judy Andrews, which was a West Side Center School, and then Petrie was the East Side Center School. And we had kids from all the way from Century to Perdido as far as serving them. And it was an eye-opening experience as far as the different types of children that came to the centers. And I fell in love with it, and it became a passion. And through that, I taught for 23 years, and then we moved out to Escambia Westgate in 1979. And so from there, we were just a junior and a high school. And then the elementary portion of the schools came from Petrie. And so we were all located on the one campus. And we've had several different additions that were built through the years. And that's how it sort of began. And then the frustration of having children that you really, there wasn't really anything that you could do other than they would sit and watch, and that broke my heart. And I said, there's got to be a way. There's got to be something that we can do, and that was sort of the beginning of the journey towards the sensory complex.
And I want to kind of go into what that's all about in a moment, but Michelle, tell me your story. So you master's degree from the University of Florida.
Hi.
Tell me, tell me about it.
Okay.
Tell me more. How you got there?
Well, I had graduated. I was a brand new teacher with my degree, and 24 years old. And I told myself, I was actually, many of the professors, it was almost like inclusion, and that's kind of what's really taught when you're in college. So I told myself I would never teach middle school, and I will never teach at a center school. You know, that's the declaration I made. So the very first job I got was as I got a middle school class, and I was at a center school, but you go where the kids are. And when I got up to Pensacola, they were at Westgate, the population that I wanted to work with. And so I came in and interviewed with Miss Berry, and totally green, except for what I had done in school. And I tell you, it was the best decision I ever made, because starting at that school, the teachers that were there were seasoned. Like Miss Berry said, they had been there since really the beginning of when our kids began to be integrated from, whether it be at home or some of them still in institutions even, being integrated into a true educational school setting. So so I got to learn from the best. And so really that's how I got to Westgate. I graduated, that was my first job, and I was like, there's nothing better. This is where the action is happening. I knew that it was forward thinking and that it wasn't just a daycare where our kids came and just rolled around all day and didn't do anything or interact. These teachers were passionate about working with the abilities that the kids had, instead of focusing on the disability, really focusing on the ability. And so I stayed and got in the good graces.
Susan, for those folks who don't know, kind of explain what we're saying Westgate, and we're going to talk about two different things, Westgate and then the Snoozelen Lacy A. Collier complex. But what is Westgate? Kind of explain that.
Westgate is a center school that serves severe, profound, trainable students, generally with an IQ below 55. And they can be physically disabled, visually impaired, hearing impaired, but they all have some type of intellectual disability in addition. And we serve pre-K to 22-year-old students. Okay. So it's a wide range of students and abilities.
And the students come from all parts of the county, is that correct?
Yes, from Century to Perdido.
Okay, very good. And this is a jump ball, so anybody answer. What is Snoozelen? Let me get you to kind of give me a definition when we say Snoozelen. What is that?
Snoozelen is a Dutch word, and it is really two words that they put together. And it means to seek out and explore and to relax. And that's really the concept in a nutshell of what we strive for with the students, to give them those experiences that they may not be able to get in any other setting. And you can't just reproduce it everywhere. You need to have the right type of environment, and that is so important. And it empowers the children to be able to make choices for themselves rather than an adult or a caretaker or somebody else making decisions for them. And that is a challenge in finding all the different ways to be able to do that.
Now, the sensory complex is a real treasure for this area. So how many of these are there in the United States? Do you have any idea?
We're the only one.
The only one in the United States?
Of this magnitude.
Yes.
And thematic. Yeah,
Wow.
of the size and thematic.
In the world.
In the world?
That's going on. Mm-hmm.
Wow, I did not realize that. We have some video that we're showing right now, and that folks have an opportunity to kind of see inside. I'll get you just to, Joe, tell everyone what's happening right here.
Well, this was a wonderful, wonderful, bright kid that came to school, and he was in what we call our jungle room. And in the jungle room, you can take them upstairs and take them across a ramp. And if you can imagine being stuck in a body and being in a wheelchair all your life, all you're able to do is look up.
Right.
You know, and just raising him up that little ways where he could see his friends play and even give him a little bit of excitement by rolling him over some of the obstacles up there. As you could see his face, it's amazing.
Right.
You know, he came out of his shell, you know, and it happens every day for us.
We're going to continue our conversation here in just a couple of moments. You're going to learn more about what the Lacy A. Collier Sensory Complex is all about. I do want to remind everyone that In Studio airs twice monthly here on WSRE, and the next program is coming up February the 11th with host Ramika Vincent Leary. She'll be exploring the lives of activists who were on the front lines of the civil rights movement. You're watching In Studio on WSRE TV. We're back in just a moment.
Measure of all our actions is how long the good in them lasts.
This is who I am, where I'm from.
If you're on the right side of history,
you can accomplish anything.
It's a connection between your present and your past.
Come this way. This is good. This is very good.
We are attempting to fulfill the promise of America.
The stories about who we are shape us.
This is a chance to go through a time machine.
Good heavenly day.
We should know our history.
It informs, but it doesn't constrict you.
It's a framework to carry out human activity.
Look around.
The sky is the limit.
It started a long time ago.
You are watching In Studio on WSRE Television, PBS for the Gulf Coast. Our guests tonight, Judge Lacey A. Collier, Susan Barry, Joe Denman, and Michelle Wardlaw. And we're discussing the Lacey A. Collier Sensory Complex, sometimes known as the Snoozlin Complex. Judge Collier, how did you go from spearheading getting the school a couple of vans to building this tremendous complex?
Well, I made a number of mistakes. One, and that is asking this lady here. As I mentioned, it was a grand day, and we felt so good about it. And so I asked Susan, is there anything else we could maybe help you with? And she said they needed a lift for the kids to get them out of bed and such. Back in those days, most of the teachers wore back braces, like you see in Home Depot.
Right.
Because I think the record is 440 pounds and 6'11". So
Wow.
there's some big kids, and they don't give you much help sometimes when you pick them up. So they needed a lift. And we managed to shame the school board into paying for that. It was rather expensive in the day. And I do want to mention that if you remember history, that was in the day when the school board was simply dysfunctional. And so when I talk bad about them, I'm not talking about the present school board, who's in total and complete support of the effort there. But anyway, we managed to do that. So we were still feeling good. Things, and this is where I made the mistake of asking her, what else can we do for you? And she said, Snoozlin. Never heard of it. And it's hard to explain it. You have to see it to know. But she said, we want to build a Snoozlin room. And she began about it's so expensive, we can't do that and this and that. And I'm thinking a portable classroom with maybe a bubble tube or something like that. So I'm thinking about, maybe 10, 15,000, and where we'd get it, I don't know, but we'd try. And so I told her to go and determine what it was that they needed, what they wanted, and such. And so a couple of weeks later, she called me and I went out, and she started right off telling me, oh, it's so expensive, we can't do it. And I always accuse her of being the biggest whiner in the world. But it works, because she gets everything she wants. And it's so expensive. And this is where I made the next biggest mistake. I said, Susan, go sit down with your people. Decide exactly what it is that you want. Pretend that money is no issue. And I used the old family saying, dare to dream.
Right.
And let me know what it comes to. A few weeks later, she called, and I go out, and $2.7 million was the dream.
It's a long way from a portable classroom.
And I don't think any of us at the time ever dreamed that that could possibly come true. But another old saying is that the impossible takes just a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. And so we set out. And that's the way it started and where we got underway with this crazy dream.
Michelle and Joe, you were there in the early days. What was it like when this first came about? I mean, this is cutting edge, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it still is. That's the thing. It was exciting because being a brand new teacher at the time, this was just something that I had never heard of in any of the textbooks. It was a brand new idea, but on the other hand, it was exciting because it also made sense. It was common sense. It's like our senses are affected all day long. The fact that you've got your pen in your hand, you've got your hand over, it regulates. We switch from one leg to another. Everything is regulated through the senses. And so when we began to hear about how these rooms could help with teaching, because originally the rooms, I believe it was in Holland that they had the first Snoezelen room, and they were working with dementia patients and people with Alzheimer's. And what they found was that when their senses were engaged basically in these type of rooms, they were seeing more cognition, more memory, more ability to attain and retain information. So that's when the natural step was, well, in education, this could really help our people with disabilities. And so, so it was very exciting because, like Miss Berry said, you look at your kids and you go, we knew as a teacher, when your heart is for those kids, there's something in there. I know there's something in there. How can we pull it out? So we really felt like this was the key, the $3 million key to be able to help our kids.
I'm going to ask our director, James Roy, to roll some video from the Polar Room. So we have some video of the Polar Room, and what I'm going to do is just to get all of you to kind of chime in and tell us about this and kind of what's going on. And Joe, I'll begin with you.
Okay, well, this is one of the 4 rooms that we have, and you can see the igloo there, which is the only wheelchair accessible igloo in Florida that I know of. In the world. And this is a real soothing room. This is more of a relaxation room. We have 2 other rooms that are more for stimulation, but this is the one for relaxation. And as you can see, the fiber optics, the balls that we have, the ball pools hit over 100 points on your body to help you relax. The rugs there, the sheepskin rugs, are soft on your skin. That's all to do with it there, all to do with tactile. You see our ice cave there. I've had some of our children with autism to get in there and take each one of those strands of fiber optics and move them around so that I think they believe nobody can see them in there.
Like a cubby,
Which,
a safe cubby hole.
and what I'm saying is this all brings out something in them, whereas they would just sit and not be able to do anything. And I also want to say that we've had over, I believe the count is up to 70 countries visit us now. You name the country, they've been there. Everybody from the North Pole to Micronesia to Colombia to all over. And what they do is take back the knowledge that we have at Snoezelen and build something for their children. Now, there are hundreds of Snoezelens, but they're as large as a closet or something. We still have the largest purpose-built sensory complex in the world. And that brings people to us, brings people to Pensacola. It's worked out very, very well.
I've heard you say before that there would be cases where a child would be, very, for lack of a better term, I'll say just revved up or excited, and you were able to bring them into one of the rooms and they come. Explain that.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, basically, because I worked with the kids with autism at Westgate, and a lot of times things just overstimulate them. That's why, like you said, revved up. It makes them super active. Even the flickering of a light or the sound of a whirring in the fan it's like the sound is expanded. It's a lot more input. We're able to kind of block that input out, but they're not. And so when you bring them into a place like the Polar Room that you just saw, it just it feeds that action, that high sense of excitement and overstimulation, and it feeds that to calm them. Basically that, you know, those bubble lights, the soft feeling on their skin, or in the ball bath when they're able to kind of float almost in that environment, it feeds that to relax them, and it addresses that high energy. Whereas even with some of our kids who are severely and physically disabled, where they sleep most of the day because their body is having to work so hard to keep them breathing, to keep them living, that they're very lethargic, so they sleep. And so teaching a child who's asleep is very difficult too. So on the flip side, the same environment can feed that need. It can stimulate them so that it can wake them up out of that lethargic state to alert them more. So the same environment can actually work as alerting or calming, which is really neat, a neat part of the concept.
Susan, we saw in the video some of the teachers working there. Tell me about the teachers who are involved in helping these children.
Well, they are amazing, and Westgate wouldn't be Westgate without the fabulous teachers that we have or had, and they make the difference, and they see what a difference the sensory environment can give to one of their students. And so when you're frustrated because something's not working, at Westgate the wonderful thing is Michelle can go right next door or across the way and say, gosh, I just can't think of anything right now. Can you give me an idea? Has something worked for you? And so it's a sharing. It's a sharing of all the different things that go on in each and every one of the classrooms. And that is so amazing for the teachers there. Whereas somewhere else, there might not be that ability for them to be able to interact as much with peers working with the same type of students. So it really is just amazing school.
And Jeff, if I might add, the teachers are absolutely magnificent. And I always describe it that it's for them not a job, but a ministry. And that's the way they view it and treat it.
It's a passion for sure.
Got to be.
Absolutely. Are you, Judge Collier, when you look at this, now that you've gotten it to the level it's at, when you look at it, you just step back and look at it, what do you think? What goes through your mind personally?
Well, it's truly one of the things in my life that I'm most proud of. You know, my wings of gold, of course, for one, leaving family out, of course. It just has to be. I guess I always remember the Oak Ridge Boys had a song in one of their albums that thanked God for kids.
Yeah.
And one of the lines in that was, did you ever stop to think or wonder why the closest thing to heaven is a child? And for me, the kids at Westgate with their special needs and others like them are the closest of all.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. And having had the opportunity to tour the complex on a couple of occasions, and I mean, they truly are just little angels is what it boils down to. I mean, so, and like you say, the teachers and all the staff out there, it's just absolutely tremendous. I would encourage anyone who has the opportunity to take a close look around to make sure they do so. Well, we're going to continue to learn more about the Lacey A. Collier Sensory Complex here on In Studio. But first, I do want to remind you that coming up on February the 11th, host Ramika Vincent Leary will be asking, is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream of racial equality is it resonating, or is there more to do? She will be examining the lives of some of Florida and Alabama activists who were on the front lines of the civil rights movement. You're watching In Studio on WSRE TV, PBS for the Gulf Coast.
American Graduate is proud to recognize a champion for education.
Our mission is to provide girls and young women an opportunity for a better future through education, counseling, training, and advocacy to enable them to become independent, empowered young women and productive members of our society.
I didn't want to graduate. I was going to drop out, and then I came to PACE,
frequent discipline problems, family issues that caused them to not be able to attend school regularly, so they had big gaps in their learning.
I didn't used to like coming to school, but once I started coming to PACE, it really brought me out to love school.
A lot of times we might be that student's confidence until she begins to see her successes and see that she really can accomplish everything that she's come here to do. But education is more than just the academics. It's being able to function in society and be successful there. And we see that with our girls and we love it.
Now I'm being a leader instead of a follower. And I have people looking up to me to be the best person I can be.
PACE Center for Girls is just a beautiful place to be because amazing things happen in the lives of the girls every day, and we're here to celebrate it.
PACE Center for Girls in Pensacola, a positive environment to help young women grow, achieve, and succeed. For more stories of champions, visit AmericanGraduate.org.
You're watching In Studio on WSRE Television, PBS for the Gulf Coast. Our guests this evening, Judge Lacey A. Collier, Susan Berry, Joe Denman, and Michelle Wardloff. And we're discussing the Lacey A. Collier Sensory Complex, sometimes known as the Snoozelen Complex. As we were in the break, Susan asked me a question, which was a very good question. She said, what struck you the most when you toured? What was it? And I said, I just thought it was the sweetness of the children. You know, I mean, even though they don't necessarily communicate like we communicate, you just knew there's something there. So I'm going to reverse, and what strikes you the most?
I think when you walk in to the building, you get this sense of wonderment. I think most everybody's been to Disney World or Disneyland. And it sort of takes your breath away when you first get there and go, wow, this is so amazing. And I always, every time I walk in that building or one of the rooms, get that sense of wonderment and how amazing it is and how lucky we are and what good can happen in these rooms and with these children who sometimes have been forgotten and, and put on the back burner or not really, thought about that they deserve to have educational experiences that are meaningful and give them options and choices and empower them. And to me, that's what the Sensory Complex does every day for those children.
What about you, Judge Collier? Same question.
Well, the kids, it says we talk, when you describe Westgate, you might think quickly that it's a sad place, but it's the happiest place I've been. And when I need a refreshment, I take a trip out there. And that's what struck me as rather surprising about the whole affair. And the little things that we see from day to day, even my going out there where some kid literally just bursts forth. And that's always exciting.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
Well, I didn't have to talk about our wonderful community for a while. Once they learned what we were doing out there, the outpouring of our community, and I am a native Pensacolian, but our community's just been wonderful with helping us to build this place, to have a place for these children who didn't ask to be in the bodies that they're in, but they are. And having the chance to travel the world and to see how, let's just say other places, other countries deal with the children like the children we have. And that's probably about as nice a way as I can say it. Mm-hmm. So it makes me very proud to be a part of something that takes these children and molds them. We have plans. They go on to have jobs. Some of them even go on to live independently, maybe with a job coach checking on them. And there's no way that any of this would happen in other places, I'll say, you know.
What about you, Michelle?
When speaking of Snoozlin at Westgate, I think the biggest thing that strikes me is the chance that some of these students, many of these students, have been dealing with severe issues for years and years and years, their whole life. We had one little girl who, she just didn't get enough stimulation, so what she liked to do was she would put her whole fist in her mouth, all the way down into her throat. And of course, if you do that all the time, it really poses a lot of health problems, a lot of problems for her. And we have other students who, I taught a student who, when he would get angry and frustrated, he would hit his head out of frustration, and he did it so much that he had a bald, raw spot on the top of his head. And so we have many students that are dealing with things like that because they're frustrated, they can't communicate, they can't tell you what they want, they can't tell you that, no, I don't want to do this right now, or can I do that right now? And what we began to see, I mean, we're talking day one for some of them. The little girl who put her fist in her mouth, day one, as soon as she was in there, the fist came out. And the whole time she was in that sensory complex, that fist did not go into her mouth once. The other student with the bald spot, we began to teach him, if you're angry, you know, tell me you need a hug. Tell me you need a hug, because there was a machine in there that kind of squeezed you a little bit like a big hug. And we'd say, and so after very short amount of time, maybe a couple of weeks, he had never communicated anything, but came up to me and said, hug, hug. And we shipped him off to the building. So we just began to see results so very fast through communication and choices, that the kids were empowered by this building. It wasn't just a Disney World, you know. I'm glad that Miss Berry brought that up, because Disney World cannot accommodate or help our kids communicate or empower them the way that this sensory complex does.
Let me show some more video. I'll get James to play the videos, some more of the interior rooms at the sensory complex, and you guys can talk a little bit about what's going on. And we played earlier about the polar bear room, but now this is something a little different. So explain what's going on here.
Susan, maybe if you could tell them about our poster child, Larissa, and then possibly about the studies that were conducted.
We had a particular child who was extremely self-abusive, and we got her in the pre-K program, but she was unsoothable. You just could not soothe her. She would beat her head and her ears till they were bloody. She would scream.
Oh, is that her right there?
That's her right there.
She would scream. She was visually impaired, hearing impaired, and had a syndrome, which she has very small stature, and was non-ambulatory. And in the course, one of the first things we did when we were thinking about would this really work was we made a closet in that classroom into a very small little Snoozlin area. And we had a bubble tube, and we had some fiber optics and music. And what we found out with Larissa is that she loved the bubble tube. And a bubble tube has a soothing vibration to it. So it's the vibration and the stimulation of the bubbles, or the calming effect of the bubbles, watching them come up and down, that just fit a need she had. You know, we all have our needs, but they can't tell us, and so we have to figure it out. But by exposing them to all the different things that there is to expose them to, we created this rapport with this particular child, where she learned that if she wanted it, we added switches to it. So it would turn on and then it would turn off. And so, Larissa, if you want that bubble tube on, you're going to have to hit the switch. So she learned that the cause and effect of, if I want this and I push this button, then I'm going to get that bubble tube on. And so it was teaching her a way of communication, which you can bring in many other types of switches and different types of assistive technology to help them communicate. And so that was the story, Judge Collier has many more stories about Larissa. That was...
She was my baby.
She was your baby.
But the study was done by Dr. Carla Thompson at UWF. And she came out and toured. And she saw the same type of thing that were going on. And what we wanted to do is we got so many people saying, oh, this is just as bad. It's not going to last. It's not going to... 10 years down the road, it's not going to be worth anything. It's not going to help your kids. And so we asked Dr. Thompson, could she create a study that would show that there is an increase in sustained focus, which means that they could continue with a classroom task for a longer period than when they started. And so it was a study that was randomly picked students were drawn out. So there was severe, there was profound, and there was autism students that were in the study. And then they were ranked by different raters. Some were from doctoral students at UWF. One was a physical therapist, and then we had some community people that came in. So it was very good study as far as the results. And what it came back to show is that there was a 14% increase in sustained focus. That means, my word, when you have a child who can't focus for 5 seconds, if you can increase that 14%, just think of all the different things that can be worked on and learned within that period of time. And then the really surprising thing that we found out was our children that are so self-abusive, that hurt themselves so severely, that when they were in the sensory complex, there was a 98% decrease in self-injurious behaviors.
A 98%?
98%.
Wow.
So it's just amazing to see the difference that providing the sensory input and the sensory needs of the children, that you can make some amazing changes in their behaviors or in what they're learning or their life. I mean, it's so amazing. Can you imagine being empowered?
It's a life-changing event.
Yes,
It really
yes.
is. We're going to continue our conversation talking about the Lacey A. Collier Sensory Complex, also known as the Susan Center, in just a couple of moments. Do want to remind everyone, In Studio airs twice monthly right here on WSRE. The next program is February the 11th with host Ramika Vincent Leary. She'll be exploring the lives of activists who were on the front lines of the civil rights movement and examining the state of racial equality, taking us on a journey from Pensacola schools to the Tuskegee Airmen. That's coming up 2 weeks from tonight. You're watching In Studio on WSRE Television. Back in a moment.
We are here tonight to explore tough issues.
You've got to have people around you who aren't just laying rose petals in front of your way. And I kid you not, this is true.
Trust is everything.
This has been so much fun.
It's about reaching people.
There are more players on the world stage. The issues are more complex.
We ask the questions that take us closer to the truth.
What happened and what might happen.
Because that's what we do.
Would you like doing something like I do?
I couldn't do this. I'm not qualified.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
You are watching In Studio on WSRE Television, PBS for the Gulf Coast. Our guests this evening, Judge Lacey Collier, Susan Berry, Joe Denman, and Michelle Wardlaw. And we're discussing the Lacey A. Collier Sensory Complex, sometimes known as the Snoozlin Complex. We were talking about a young lady that Larissa was her name, and talking about the tube. Judge, finish your story, because you had more to it, right?
Yes, well, I just remember my first introduction to Snoozlin, because I didn't know what she's talking about until they built this closet. And she called me to come out. You got to come, you got to come. She gets excited. And so I rushed out, and we went in there, and she said, get Larissa up. And the teacher said, oh, no, we can't. She just got her down. Part of her syndrome, and I don't understand syndromes, but she would throw fits. I'm talking about these screaming, hissy fits, twisting overhead. You just couldn't hold her. That's part of the syndrome. And so I understood, and I tried to talk her out. That's okay, Susan, just let me look. But she insisted, and she was throwing one of these fits. Mm-hmm. Took her into this little closet with the bubble tube and other lights going and music, and 15 seconds later she was dead calm. And that's when I remember saying to Snoozlin, we got something here. Wow. And she loved the bubble tube, and they would put her feet up to it so she could feel, and then set her away. And I used the term that I invented. She would scrunch over to, because she couldn't crawl, couldn't walk, but she would get up to the bubble tube and hug it for more feel. And then eventually, and of course these mean teachers put that button on there that it says, Larissa, if you like that so much, you got to learn to punch this button. Right. And she did, and she could change colors on the bubble tube eventually. And then she got up on her knees to get more feel, and eventually stood up. And she's our poster child, and if you go out there, you can see her all over the place. There was a candid camera that somebody took in there. It's classic. And the end result of all of that is that, first of all, I'd go to see her and just hug her, because she loved that after settling down where you couldn't possibly touch her. The syndrome says she'll never walk. Impossible. Well, when she died, she was walking with the help of a walker, of course.
Incredible. And
that is a direct result that I could even observe with my limited understanding of how it works, and that it does work. She's a classic example, poster child in every way.
Why aren't there more centers like this in the United States, and for that matter around the world?
I can tell you part of it is that some people still don't accept it. Right. And that was a difficulty in the beginning. Susan recognized what it was and could be, and we were out on the edge. But the two fellows that invented it in the concept in the Netherlands, one of them has visited us and was just blown away by what he had done. And it's expensive, very, very expensive, and I'd like to talk about that a little later, but that's part of the problem. And other people just, until they come here and see ours, they can't understand, because you can't describe it. It's hard to talk about. You have to see it.
And I think too, because of the price, you know, this is at a school. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times when people are coming in, they want to know, what is the bottom line with education? This is an educational setting. This isn't a holistically therapeutic setting or things like that. And so, you know, the kind of the wall that we're trying to break down is to get the people, the educators, to understand that if my child is calm enough to have sustained focus and to sit in a chair, because there were many days when I was in the classroom that I just threw my papers up in the air and said, all right, guys, you're a bunch of monkeys today. Like there's no, I mean, it's like a barrel of monkeys on some days. And there was just no sitting and going, okay, look at this. This is red. It's not happening. Like they're not going to look at that right now, because there's so much going on, so much sensory overload going on that they cannot sustain attention. And so being able to have an environment where I can say, okay, guys, you're swinging from the rafters today. Let's go into this place where you can get that sensory need met. and you can have some empowerment for a little bit to make your own choices. Then, you know, that sensory need, that high activity is met, they can come back into the classroom and they can sit and they can say, okay, now I can look at what you have to deliver to me today. Or sometimes even that wouldn't be enough. So what am I doing? Instead of having a red flashcard, look at red, I'm taking them into the jungle room and saying, let's find some red butterflies. Like, it's just so much more exciting. It's something that they would rather do, you know, but it's still teaching the same educational concept. So I think that getting the educators and the administrators of education to understand that this isn't just a playground, it's not just for fun. This is a way that we can break through some of those unconventional teaching methods to bring to our classroom with our kids. So to me, it is worth every penny of the price tag because of what we've seen, you know, happen on a daily basis.
Well, we are getting a little bit short on time, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the future and what the goals are here.
Well, just to keep it going, interesting story in terms of where the money came from, because I always like to say a good word about Commissioner Wilson Robertson, because we were going around begging everywhere, looking for grants and such, and getting nowhere because nobody knows what snoozling is. And finally, he made a motion before the county commission that they give us $250,000 to start. That was way back in the 90s, a little bit more money available. But eventually the county put up $500,000. And I want to explain that before we leave, if the school board would match it. The school board, I don't think either side thought would match, so they wouldn't have to come up with the money, but we held them to it and got that money to start with community support. Brian Spencer drew it for us, promised free architectural work and engineering, and Tahar Cronley was going to build it for cost, but that wasn't acceptable to the school board because you have to bid it out and all that. But setting all that aside, we finally just began to build. And when there's something you can show, people can understand a little more. We got some tremendous help from the community, different facilities. Quint Studer donated $200,000, which completed it and made it happen. The reason I'm a little defensive on behalf of Wilson is because you'd wonder why would he do that? Well, we promised that it would be of financial benefit to the county. And we think we've proven that because we've had all these visitors from all over the world. We have people who have moved here just to go to Westgate and the Snoozland. And one of them, for example, came from Oklahoma just this last year. They always vacationed and owned a place in Destin. They now own a place here and live in rather upper crust, so they're paying big booming taxes.
Right.
So I think it's all repaid itself. We bed tax. We've had people from all over the country and these foreign countries. The State Department refers people here just to see it. So we think we put Pensacola on the map. And another...
Without Bill Greenhut also.
Oh, well, yeah, I've got to mention Bill, because as I mentioned, judges can't do that.
Right.
But Bill Greenhut is the one truly responsible for seeing this through. He raised the money. We promised the school board no additional people. She made that come true. Still today, we formed a foundation that still maintains it and cares for it. So all the school board pays is the light bill. That was part of the promise and the deal. So we think we've kept our end of it from that standpoint. And it is just so wonderful to be recognized as #1 in the world in little old Pensacola.
And we do have a future.
Tell me about
it. We have a portion of it called Fleurute, which is Latin for flourish and movement. And it includes a gym or a gym-like structure, possibly some water features. As you could see, our children love water. And I'd like to give them something besides just squirting them down with the hose.
Right.
You know, so... and with the other things that we have planned, it is possible for us to host Special Olympics up here rather than run to Orlando, run to Tampa, which will, you know, that's bed taxes, that's restaurants, that's our children also. So.
And I know Impact 100 helps you out right a lot as well.
It sure does.
Yeah. If someone wants to, a couple questions here. Number one, if someone wants to help you out financially, how do they go about doing that? And second of all, if there's a parent out there watching who says, well, maybe my child needs to be involved in this, how do they go about that? So let me begin with how the parent would get to Snoozeland, their child to Snoozeland.
I would say contact Westgate, the office, and the current principal is Terry Colburn. And that would be the first step, I would say, is there are certain things in order for a child to attend Westgate. There are certain criteria that needs to be met. So that would be one of the first things you would check.
And I've got about 1 minute left. If someone would like to help financially make a donation, how would they go about doing so?
Well, we have a Westgate Snoozeland Foundation that Bill Greenhut still operates.
Oh, okay.
And that's the place directly to make that donation.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much for your time this evening.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
It was a real pleasure having you on, and I'm just speak on a personal level. I've had, as I said earlier in the broadcast, had the opportunity to tour the facility. It's absolutely magnificent, and the thing that you really appreciate is the dedication and the passion. As the judge mentioned earlier, the teachers and the administrative staff and Joe out there, they're not working. It's a passion, and it's clear. It's clear. So on behalf of the community, and thank you for all you do and for teaching the principal and judge for you. So it's just it's a wonderful thing. And quick, there is a website people can find out a little bit more about, right? So it's just, I guess, if they Google the Lacey A. Collier Sensory Complex.
And we're always willing to show it off. So you call.
So if somebody wanted to, they could just give you a call, make an appointment, and Joe will show them around.
Yes.
And Joe's a popular guy out there too.
Well, I'm just glad the kids think that.
I was gonna say that the kids keep you straight, don't they?
They do, and
on your toes, for
it
sure.
makes my day. Also, it makes my day to see them smile.
No question. Thank you all so very much. Wish you all the very best. Thank you so very much. Our guests this evening have been Judge Lacey A. Collier, Susan Berry, Joe Denman, and Michelle Wardlaw. We've been discussing the Lacey A. Collier Sensory Complex at Escambia Westgate School. In studio, we'll be back on February the 11th with host Ramika Vincent Leary. She'll be exploring whether Dr. Martin Luther King's dream of racial equality is alive and well, or is there more work to be done? She'll also be looking at the lives of activists who are on the front lines of the civil rights movement in Florida and Alabama. Plus, she takes us on a journey from the schools of Pensacola to the Tuskegee Airmen. It's all coming up 2 weeks from tonight. In the meantime, I'll see you on my show, Conversations, next Thursday. I hope you enjoyed this evening. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm Jeff Weeks. Have a nice and enjoyable weekend, I should say. Good night, everyone. Thank you.